in my prime as a developer, I never really used to like attending meetings because I thought, it was a bit disruptive for me. When I'm in the zone, I want to remain in the zone till I'm done with my work. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 things you must be doing as a junior developer. Now, a lot of developers are usually, especially juniors, are usually clueless as to what exactly they should be doing on their teams, whether they are actually in a big or small team or they are freelancing. They're usually asking questions as, how do I ask for feedback? What kind of questions do I ask, and how to grow essentially. Now on this video, I am going to be talking about these things and more, and I encourage you to stay tuned. If you are new to my channel, I encourage you to subscribe for everything tech, lifestyle, and faith. If you are returning to my channel, thank you for coming back, and please subscribe and click on the post notification bell to be the first to get the alerts on the new videos that come up. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is mentorship. It's important as a new developer to get a mentor to help you through those hurdles that a lot of people have already passed through. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. There is no need to make the same mistakes. It's important for you to get a mentor, put you through getting the right resources, meeting the right people that could help you. Your mentor should be someone that is available to you, at least for the most part. And yeah, it's also important to know that there's a huge difference between a role model and a mentor. You can admire a role model from afar, but they might not always be available to you. So your mentor should be someone that is available to help you, that is able to set up live coding sessions for you. They're able to unblock you whenever you get stuck in problems. These are things that your mentor should be doing. Now, a mentor is definitely not an excuse for you to be lazy, right? You want to ask your mentor informed questions, meaning that you must also have done your research about what you're asking about. You must have tried at least to solve the problem before reaching out to anybody for help. That also helps you to have a good understanding of the problem that you actually have. Secondly, you want to be a part of the why and not just the how. What does this mean? This means that you want to be involved in the big picture parts of the solution that you're solving, or the solution you're bringing to the table. This involves meetings such as your stand-ups, your retros. For me, as in my prime as a developer, I never really used to like attending meetings because I thought it was a bit disruptive for me. When I'm in the zone, I want to remain in the zone till I'm done with my work. But it's very important to understand the value of being in some of these meetings, not all, of course, because we all know that not all those meetings are productive, but being in some of these meetings because they actually give you a big picture of the work you're doing, provide you with insight into how much value that you can provide beyond just the work that you're doing, and also how many other people you could be helping on your team. So for example, you're in a stand-up and everybody's giving their reports, as in what they are doing, what they did yesterday, what they're doing today, and where they are blocked. That gives you some form of context into if whatever is blocking them is something that you can provide a solution to, and also even an idea of what they are doing in general and how it may or may not be of use to you in the future. So you see that it's very important to understand the why, not just limit yourself to the how of what you're doing. Now, the third thing you want to do is to embrace constructive criticism. Feedback comes in a lot of shapes and sizes, some very attractive, some not necessarily. I recall when I was much younger as a developer, I was privileged to work with one of the founding developers of a farm company, and the person wasn't very cute and nice with the feedback that she was giving on my code reviews. I said, shit, I was really trying hard not to say that. So But what I did then, even though the feedback wasn't as attractive as I wanted it to be, was that I ignored how it came and took the value out of what she was trying to pass across. It's very important for you to, be proactive about feedback as well, beyond just the feedback that comes from your code reviews, right? From the comments in your code reviews, which sometimes can be very heartbreaking. You should also be reaching out to ask for feedback from your senior developers, your mentors, your peers, to know things like find out more information or get some sense of the things that you should be doing more of and the things that you probably want to stop. Now, the fourth and one of the most important things you want to do is read the documentation. Read the documentation. Now, a lot of people, when they are faced with any problem or issue that they have to write a coding solution to, find themselves googling the solution or running to Stack Overflow. Now, don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong with googling. In fact, I recall reading an article that says that the best of developers are people that know how to use Google well. So there's really nothing wrong with using Google or using Stack Overflow. And in fact, there are 50% or more of some of the questions that you would probably have in your coding journey has either been asked or answered on Stack Overflow. But the importance of reading documentation is that you get greater value than what you will see on Stack Overflow. Typically, a lot of the time, Stack Overflow, you would find a solution there. If the person is nice enough, they point you to the resources. So they could point you to the resources where you can, get more of that solution from or learn more from. But documentation will typically explain to you exactly how a tool is used, how a language is used, the places that you can use them, the places that they are not necessarily used, the other dependencies that you might need apart from those tools. It basically gives you a broader picture of that tool. So I think this is not exactly a good example, but might kind of scratch the surface to what I'm talking to. Is like buying a TV and not no, a TV, everybody knows how to use a TV. So maybe buying a camera or something a bit technical and not reading the manual. There are lots of things you're missing out from, not reading the manual. And you can liken that to reading documentation as well. Even though you might know a little bit of the tool and how to use it, reading documentation answers most of your questions, to be honest. So read the documentation, guys. Really don't run away from documentation. The last but not the least thing is that you don't want to be sentimental about your code. There are so many different reasons why you might need to throw your code out the window. For example, the project takes a different direction and they need a different type of code to work with the solution that is required. It could be that the project has to scale to accommodate more users. They need to improve on the performance. So many reasons. It could be that your code doesn't actually solve the problem. It could be that simple, right? So it's very important not to be sentimental about your code so that you can be flexible to accommodate changes. You can also grow because it's definitely a learning opportunity for you to see how if your code could be improved to meet the need at that time, or just to learn something new, really. So guys, don't be sentimental about your code. So these are 5 things that I think every junior developer out there should know and should take note of in growing as a developer. I hope that you learned something from this, and I encourage you to like this video and share with as many people as you know need to hear this. And I will see you in the next episode.